Dear Venerable Sir, Dhamma friends, today the second day in our retreat. Accordingly, we are going to start another session of question and answers. Today also we will start the session with written questions, and as time permits, we will keep the invitation open to raise questions to the audience. So I would like to invite Sanjay to present questions in written form.
Venerable Bhante, when I do walking meditation, my legs below the knee becomes very heavy. It is not a pain. It is like as if I have to drag them. Should I try something to get rid of it? If so, please kindly say what. Also, I have ticklish feeling in my head after a while, with a heavy head and sleepiness. Please, can you tell me if these things are okay to feel and keep on going? Thero Saranai.
It appears like your mindfulness already sets in within the body. So therefore, these are good signs to indicate mind is at home. So they may appear something strange, but never they become unbearable. So therefore, consider them as positive signs. Don't worry about them to encourage or discourage. Just see how is walking when you have the heavy foot below the knee, how is the walking without that. So that you take this extra character that you have observed, how it is relating with your left leg and the right leg. And whenever you have the head feel like heavy or swollen or whatever may be, just see if it is in sitting, how is the in-breath and out-breath without that, how is the in-breath and out-breath with that. Like that, whatever arising, you try to see through it, try to go through it without much worrying about the external factor. The main, you can put it in this way, the main purpose of this additional thing is to distract you from the present moment. So therefore, be prepared, go prepared. Definitely this kind of thing can happen. You take it as a positive sign. So how is my meditation? How is my observation of the primary object with this kind of unexpected visitors? And then you will slowly expand your tolerance or your immunity or your diversification of the mindfulness. If you take it in a constructive way, you are hardening your mindfulness, diversifying your mindfulness, and resistance power of the mindfulness, it is slowly increasing. So therefore, don't consider this thing happening as a positive or negative. Just see how is the performance of mindfulness or relationship with your primary object amidst of that. So when you go further, this is the initial stage of teaching you how to be mindful in multitasking. So these things are occasional thing. Make you sit in a positive way. Ultimately, you amazing capacity you have, you don't know. Ultimately, you can live complete in a busy life or multitasking life, still accountable. You can have bookkeeping. You can understand what is happening, and that is the only point where you understand the priority selection. And if you know the priority, first thing first, you will be the best manager in the world. Otherwise, anything happening will disturb you. So therefore, let it happen. You must know your priority, first thing first. And ultimately, you will see amazingly, they will adjust accordingly. Ultimately, they will be a positive factor or supportive factor, and that is how the multitasking is gradually introducing, or in the Buddhist terminology, we say not to carried away by the vicissitudes of the world. Attaloka Dhamma, with the gain happen or loss happen. pleasurable thing happen, painful happen. Whatever may be, what you see, what you try to maximize is your relationship with the primary object. Then ultimately, it will be like adding some condiments to your curry. It will be very delicious when you apply into the proper dose.
Dear Bhante, I am a beginner to walking meditation. Could you kindly explain the method with metta?
So we have already given the basic instructions in the instruction tape. So it is natural to ask again and again. Therefore, I would like to recommend to the retreat organizer to play the basic instructions again for those who are in need in a walking session. Those who know can take time for walking meditation. Others can listen into that. And when you are listening, if you need any furtherance or additional, and if you need any practical guidance, this is the time for the discussion. That is what I introduced yesterday. But basic instructions, I don't think it is worth taking time in this discussion. So basic instructions are in the standard CD. So please listen. And if there are some few people, organizer can help and to listen to the whole tape or to only for the walking session.
Reverend Sir, my mind is relatively calm and I feel peaceful. However, in sitting meditation, no sooner than the mind gets into a little bit of concentration, it gets carried away to another zone where I am not sure whether I am asleep or awake. However, I keep remember and try again and again to get back to the breath. It's very exhausting. Please advise me with metta.
So I would like to know how much successful you are coming back to the primary object. That's the one before the last sentence. It says, however it may be, I try to bring the attention back to the primary object. And I would like to know the comments or experience. Is it a successful? Is it happening effortlessly? Or does the mind, soon you instruct, come back to the primary object and still you feel calm? Or do you find the primary object agitated or not? Can that particular person come forward and give the answer? Then it will be a very lively discussion and good contribution. So I cordially invite, if you do not mind, please give me some information regarding the return journey.
Venerable Bhante.
Wait a minute, please. So if it is not happy to come out, I would say, if you start with the calm state and mind is going outwardly, maybe daydreaming, fantasizing, and bewilderment and kind of thing, and when you come back to the primary object, whenever you become self-aware, come back, and if it again the mind come and settle in the primary object, the distraction made no defilement. They become null and void. So make sure before the defilement or before the wandering, mind is mindful, and after the wandering, if the mind is mindful, this is the way we make our defilements null and void. It's a very interesting hobby. So therefore, only thing I wish to know, that particular person can answer question again and again, next time also, please give me as detailed as or thin slicing of time on the way back to the primary object after the wandering. That will be really rejuvenating, really make you mobilized, dynamic. So go into meditation with that in your mind. Let the mind go out, no problem. How is the journey back to the primary object? Report as much as detail possible. It will be a real jump or leap in your meditation.
Venerable Bhante, most of us aware of the boundaries of breaking and not breaking 5 precepts. But when we observe 8 precepts, sometimes some conditions are not clear. As an example, forgetfully keeping some jewelry on, so on. What will be some of the repercussions for such things with metta?
It depends on the society you are associating. If someone understand you have promised to not to have garlands, not to have beautification, not to have kind of thing, still you may be having your wristwatch or any necklace or kind of thing. Other person come and say it is maybe not nice you to have the ornaments, then you can accordingly do it. Accordingly correct yourself. If someone is not taking care and you also not do it in forgetful way or not in an intentional way, it is not a matter. So therefore it depends on the sensitivity of your co-meditators. If they are disturbed, you must have politeness to surrender into that. Otherwise that can go without any case. No problem. So therefore it depends on the society and the cultural upbringing. What are the ornaments? What are the luxuries? What are the utilities? So we are not going to tell this and that. We say if you feel it is ornamental, it is not accepted. It is not done. If it is a utility, then the society or your co-meditators must appreciate it. Then no problem. So therefore these areas are very grey. There are no hard and fast rules. It depends on the society or the background you live. So your alertness, not only to your in-breath and out-breath, but the impression and the criticism of the others also must be very vigilant. But don't accept all the criticisms, but accept only the constructive criticisms. If it is otherwise, don't go into answer them. You just put into the question and answer session, this kind of a thing happened. Criticism came. I would like to know the norm of this center rather than individual dialogue with particular person if he or she is not the retreat organizer. So that is the way we have to have the harmony. So that is why the Buddha says, samaganan taposuko. Whenever people are cordial each other, meditation is just a hobby. If each one is looking each other in a hateful way and critical way, you are making a hell on the earth. So therefore, help, support others' peace of mind. So definitely in return, you will get the peace of mind. So help, support others' solitude, others' silence, others' distance. Then you will get the silence, you will get the solitude, you will get the distance. So we have to learn this art, how to live like a family members or group. So 14-day retreat is a very good experience. A few days time we will learn. There are a lot of chances to misunderstand. Because the society is very heterogeneous. So it is your task not to make any kind of repercussions. And if someone is critical, listen to it. And if you accept, no problem. If you do not accept, put that into the question and answer session. We will come up to the norm after the discussion. By practicing 14 days, we can't give answer for all the grey areas. Leave it as it is. We are only pragmatic, going to answer the recent question, not the generalized questions.
Honorable Bhante, when practicing meditation, sitting and walking, to be mindful, it is necessary to put an effort, virya. In describing eightfold paths, Samma Vayama is given. Please explain how this is related to effort in mindfulness. May you be blessed with triple gem.
If you have heard about the 37 factors of enlightenment, in Pali it is called Sattis Bodhipakhiya Dhamma, starting with four foundation of mindfulness and four kind of effort, four kind of fulfillments, and 5 kinds of energies, 5 kinds of sense organs, and then energies, and 7 factors of enlightenment, and 8 noble paths. There are 37 in the group. Virya is the one appearing 9 times from Satipatthana to 8 Noble Path. So that means Virya as a one mental concomitant evolving very faster than any other mental concomitant. Next in the Sati, mindfulness, 8 times it is evolving. And other factors are not so. So therefore your impression on the Virya is ever changing within a one sitting or within a one retreat or within your personal career in the spirituality. So many, I may be committing by telling like that, many Western kind of thinkers, they think Virya is not necessary. Mindfulness must happen effortlessly. But Eastern people, specifically I would say Thero Pandita, from A to Z Virya, regimentation. So if you can select your teacher, so you select your teacher according to your likings and disliking. Whatever may be, Virya is evolving. So at the beginning it is called Arambha Dhatu Virya, that is initial or launching energy, and then Nikkama Dhatu, it is sustenance energy, and the Parakkama Dhatu is fulfillment energy. The very first one is so much consuming to get the basic, pickup. So if you get an analogy of a car, to start the engine, you have to give the maximum gasoline. And then when it is in the first gear, the amount of fuel it is consuming for 1 unit of distance, maybe kilometer or mile, is very heavy. And then when you change into the second gear, the amount of fuel or gasoline for that particular unit is less. And when you go to the top gear, the least. So therefore, each time you stop the vehicle, and if you are switching it off, imagine when you second time start, again the same amount of energy has to burn. So, maybe I am committing, but anyway I would like to say, lay meditators, meditation is, you take 14 days retreat and another 8, 9 days of picnic, and then parties, and then again go back to, again you have to start the engine and go for the first gear, second gear, third gear, and then you find so much of category, so much of heterogeneity usage per unit distance. So once you come to the full-time meditator, you are starting the engine maybe once and then you finish it off. Then the amount of fuel is very less. So this is true for all the endeavors in the world. The best example given by Pandita Sayadaw, he said if you take the Saturn V rocket, going to the moon and come back, to raise the rocket at the beginning, the launching rocket burning 88% of the fuel just to raise it for 6 miles. So much of fuel. It's burned all 3 rockets. And whole journey of 2,000 of miles, use balance 12%. And at the space, nothing, no fuel consumption. It is just, you shoot it, catapult, it goes to the other end. So, when you come back again and again, if you was to go back, imagine how much energy you have to give. So that is why one thing is earning of the momentum. Second thing is maintenance or protecting already earned momentum. Not a single yogi understand how much you are wasting by not protecting already earned mindfulness, already earned momentum. So we often leave aside and again take it, again leave aside, again taking. So it is the spiritual consumerization. Because spiritual luxurious usage, and it is worse than materialistic consumerization. Materialistic luxurious, and it is global heating and all things happen. But spiritual part, if you have to study, we have no bookkeeping. We don't know. The day you understand, when you go to a non-returnable permanent knowledge, then only you understand how much time you start and leave it aside at the halfway. Again start, again leave it aside. So you have to learn this art with respect to the virya aspect or energy aspect. For that, I found Pandita Sayadaw is the genius. Maybe he is regimenting, but he is emphasizing again and again how much you are slack. Once you gain the mindfulness, once you understand that mind is here and now, you must live up to that. You must try to keep it to the next moment, next event, next posture, next object, and then easier. But if you lose it, again to start to gain this momentum, it's very difficult. So he find we are doing a very wasteful kind of a meditative life. So for his understanding, as I gauge, no one is up to his satisfaction. No one is up to his satisfaction, and he live an exemplified life. Always mindfulness. Anything you talk, I am ready to talk with yogis, not any other person. Any issue. And if it is talking with the yogis, he is asking, what is the relationship with this issue you are talking to your mindfulness? Otherwise, just don't waste time. So this is how you go advance, understand the energy, but beginners or so-called putujana or commoner have no any bookkeeping. They are starting and again leaving, again starting, again leaving. That means we have not enough accumulated merits maybe, we have not seen role models maybe, we have not advanced in our meditation maybe, but it is not a disqualification. Keep on practicing. Ultimately you will understand how to protect, how to preserve the already earned momentum, already earned mindfulness, because it is easier than losing and gaining again. So that is the place where meditation centers are better than the household life. But even when you come to the meditation centers also, you don't know how to facilitate others' mindfulness, how to facilitate yours. So you start socialization. You start understanding personal things, and that's the place it is misrepresenting. See, so everything is related to the energy. So energy has many evolutions, so changes. In the Maha Sutta, the Buddha, after explaining the early groundwork preparation, he brings this subject, and I thought of highlighting in the Dhamma talks further.
Dear Swamin Wahansa, while practicing Anapanasati, sitting and walking, breath ceases after some time. This state continues for around 1 to 1.5 hours. This was happening for last 3 months. Yesterday, while in this room, a severe pain was noticed in the leg. I just noted quite some time it disappeared. Then again it came. Is it Vedananupassana? Please explain Vedananupassana. Introducing for may you be blessed with good health and strong.
So I find 3 aspects. The very first part of the essay, it is telling that when I focus the attention on the breath, it ceases to exist. And the second thing is encounter with the pain. And the third one is asking theory about the Vedananupassana or contemplation of the pain. So rather than multiplying these questions, what I would say is, whatever as just we discussed in the very first question, when I walk, I feel heaviness on the leg. When I sit or walk, I feel heaviness in the head. So try to be mindful on your steps if you are walking left and the right. Or if you are in the sitting, in breath and out breath, rather than contemplating and how to deal with pain, because they are gate crashers, they are incidental visitors. Don't worry about them. If you are going to change the subject into whatever it is happening, you have no theme. So therefore, whenever the pain happens, maybe a little pain or challenging kind of pain or excruciating, unbearable pain, see how much you can be with your primary object. Suppose there is no primary object because your breath ceases to exist, and then try to see when the pain happens, can I see or can I associate my sitting posture through the pain? And that is what we call see through the pain, or observe while pain is there, or we can say getting a distance from the pain and understand how much I can be with my sitting posture. If the in-breath and out-breath is available, that you can take it as your pivotal point or benchmark. Otherwise, take how much, and whether it is called Vedananupasana or not, don't worry making theories and kind of thing, because in meditation, each and every this kind of prolific thinking is nothing but a defilement. Your main thing must be how much I can associate the primary object. I would say in sitting, in breath and out breath, or rising and falling, or sitting posture. In the walking, left and the right, or right, lifting and moving, lifting and dropping, lifting, moving, dropping, or walking posture. Then, without worrying, without making stories or fabrication with the Vedana or pain, you keep your primary object as the pivotal point, see the relationship with the primary object, your progress is without any hesitation, is very straightforward. Our mind is very crafty, suggesting this and that, but each and everything is just diluting and diversification or storytelling or fabrication. Ultimately you will be fostering the theoretical understanding and the deductive knowledge. Your direct touch with the primary object or your posture will be lost. So therefore consider from that point of view, don't make stories, don't make any opinions, maximization of your relationship with your primary object or your bodily posture. Consider this as Nibbana. No problem. Always try to refer to your sitting posture when you are sitting. Or walking, I am not sitting, I am walking. In standing, I am not sitting, I am not walking, I am standing. So that can't make any problem. That can't make any this and that story. So make it very simple, very straightforward. So you can have the clarity or straightforwardness or shortcut to the mindfulness. Ultimately you will learn not to take the very complicated path, shortest cut. And that is the most proximate way of looking at it. So therefore Vedananupasana, it may come of course in the series of Dhamma talk, but don't try to introduce this subject, try to be with your primary object or Kayanupasana, that will do the rest rather than your manipulation or your introduction kind of thing. That will make meditation very simple and short.
Reverend Sir, I was meditating on my posture. Here I am this morning. My mind felt very calm. Thoughts came and went. It didn't disturb me. I went on like this for about an hour. After that, for some time, I felt absolutely nothing. Kindly advise me as to what I should do. Thank you, with metta.
So there also I would like to invite for a dialogue. You start with the posture, and then calmness, and then to the nothingness. Out of these three combinations, which one is more preferable than the other? According to your own value judgment, that will prescribe what you should do the next. So I need that impression, otherwise difficult to take this issue, analyze it. So if the person who has written the question is ready to answer, we can have a dialogue. So my question is analyzing the statement. At the beginning, you had the posture, and then you told is peace of mind. And latter part, you mention about the nothingness. So what, according to your value judgment, which one is the best?
Swamini Wahanse, nothingness.
So then why you are asking the next? If you have come to the nothingness and you are the person earned it, why you are questioning it? Why you are challenging it? Why you are complicating it?
But
you are asking something means nothingness has something not contented. So simply I can say, rather than challenging you, maximize as much as possible what make you to entertain doubts. What make you to make uncertainty? What make you to feel threatened, to ask question? Till that, maximize the nothingness if it is okay. Okay, thank you for the participation.
Venerable Bhante, when I was doing my sitting meditation, I felt that I couldn't breathe properly and I got tired. I thought that I breathed forcefully. I let it happen naturally, but I couldn't did it and again felt same. Kindly give me an advice to carry out my meditation.
So it's a very straightforward answer. Don't worry about the breath, be aware of your posture. From beginning of the sitting to the end of the sitting. So I used to say, if you can maintain your attention to your bodily posture, for 1 hour you are an arahant. You have gone to the maximum of meditation. If it is impossible only, we say, if it is so, look into the in-breath and out-breath. So if you can, right from the beginning, through the middle, until end, if you can be with your posture, you are perfect. So that is why I am asking, listen to the basic instruction. Few sentences are mentioned, be aware of your posture. And if something happen, take it as an object, otherwise be with your posture. In walking also, nothing to worry about the left leg, right leg, lifting, dropping, lifting, moving, dropping, as far as you know it. And keep it. And if you find difficult, if you find it monotonous, if you find it boring, then only see details. But don't make a lack of seeing, lack of effortless breathing as the question. Because it's an imposed question. So this is the way whole day we are expecting something. We are chasing behind something. So we are donkeys behind a carrot. So ultimately, even if you just get a carrot, nothing. Even if you get the breath, few minutes time that will disappear. The breath is nothing to as a badge you can wear wherever you go for the royal ceremonies. No. Breath is not given to wear it as a garland, but breath is something. One day it will also disappear. So therefore don't worry. The Buddha mentioned, Aranyagatowa, Rukkhamolagatowa, Sunyākāragatowa, Nisidati Pallanka. You may enter into the forest or under a tree or go to a silent place, sit cross-legged. Then only he says, Sato Vasasati, Tato Pasasati. First and foremost thing is, you make the body as your best friend. The moment you make your posture your best friend, you are already enlightened. And no one can disturb your love affair. Because we are human beings, but the Buddha says becoming a human being is very, very rare. That love affair, never. No disturbances. Any affair beyond that, I know I have already suffered lot of problems. Your other party is not happy with you. And not only that, dustya, other people come and disturb. Leave this affair, I would say, the moment you understand the mindfulness, you start your whole life as a hobby. You are already endowed with your humanity or your humanness and the present moment. Lucky enough, Buddha is telling that is the maximum. That's a real appreciation of your human life. And being so, if you are going to search about the breath, and if you are lucky enough, you may go to the Buddhist Publication Society. There's a one novel, short story, written about the walking meditation. And it is not the forced breathing, it is difficult to find the touch point in the breath. Because a meditator is a she-elephant. She accidentally hear one nun coming and giving instructions to the other female yogis. You sit cross-legged, focus the breath, attention to your upper lip, top of your upper lip. So she-elephant also tried that. She says, I don't have an upper lip, so I can't meditate. She says, I am very sorry, no hope. Next day the same nun come and give the instructions to the same group of female devotees. They says, yesterday I taught you Anapanasati, today I am going to teach walking meditation. When you walk, just see the soul, touch of the soul. And then the she-elephant start walking meditation. And then onward, it's nicely introducing walking meditation. The essay is labeled as walking meditation by Sumali Karmaratna. His brother is the architect of this building. So we are related. So one day you will say, I don't have upper lip, I don't have a normal breathing, I have forced breathing. All these are nonsense. Be aware of your posture. Ultimately, posture will lead you to the most natural object rather than chasing. It is very difficult, big addiction. This is usually happening for the traditional Buddhists. They never consider the breathing as an object or land benchmark or reference point. They consider this as Nibbana. Then whenever no breath or forced breathing happen, they feel they are guilty, they are committing crimes, or they are asking problems. But the easiest and broadest and simplest and straightforward answer is, be aware of your posture. Consider this as the biggest gain or endowment or gift. Be happy, and then breath will happen naturally.
Theruvan Saranai, Venerable Bhante. When I am doing my walking meditation, lifting up, touching down, like that, after a while, I felt tightening feeling associated with little discomfort on top of my head, around the nose, inside my palate. Am I doing the right meditation with metta?
Because this is exactly the same first question we had. Whenever the attention or say mindfulness with your body, lot of feelings, tingling, sensation happen because your attention make signals amplified. So their own word, rather than the primary object, attention goes to these little trivial things, and ultimately you get engrossed, storytelling, fabricating with tiny things. So that's why it's commentators, it says they are there, but they never make unbearable. Having that kind of tingling, tightness and stiffness, tension movements, try to see how much still you can do left leg and the right leg. And there also I will emphasize, even if you can't keep the attention with the left leg, right leg or lifting, moving, just be just aware, I am not sitting, I am walking. Because this tingling and stiffness, tension never can disturb this awareness of the walking. And if it is still the mind is very sharp and this thing, then you can go, I am not only walking, I can see it. Now I am on the left leg, now I am on the right leg. So these things become trivial, they become secondary, they become background. That is the way you select priority. If you do not know that, you are a bad manager. You don't know first thing first. So other thing consider as an endowment, a gift, but not as a distraction. Maybe sometimes at the painful feelings or many things can happen, but still assure your primary object, so much so mind is progressing.
Venerable Swamin Wahanse, I struggle a lot to concentrate by doing breathing, Anapanasati, over a period. I have been unable to make my mind concentrated even for 2 minutes continuously. Various thoughts are popping up, but they are mostly related to Dhamma. Is there any other samatha practice for me to try?
So this is not something to be something to consider alternative. This is natural, but unfortunate enough, in this report, nothing mentioned about the experience within that 2 precious minutes with the breath. Please give me little bit of information or natural characteristics or the shape or the manner whenever mind is associate with the primary object. So if you neglect it, definitely you are inviting unwanted things to come. So therefore, whenever you are face to face with the primary object, even for 1 split second, even for 1 in-breath, get maximum information as to what is the shape, what is the manner, what is the experience, where do you experience, how does it change it from the out-breath. Likewise, that if you can get more and more information on your primary object, so much so secondary objects will be insignificant. But you have given nothing about that, so that is your crime, that is your mistake. So therefore, if that particular person can report, present, what is the experience with these 2 minutes explained with the breath, then I can give 1001 ways and means to do away with the thoughts. But if it is not presented, simple advice is, please include your direct touch, under the nose experience of the primary object, and by maximizing it, be immediate with it, be absorbing into it more and more, the thoughts or pain or sounds coming and distracting will be reduced. We are not dealing directly with the distraction. We try to keep as closely as established relationship with the primary object. 2 minutes is quite enough. Nothing to worry, it's quite natural. So if it is not ready to present now, please rewrite it. Include your direct touch with the primary object. Start your essay with that success story. Then you can find ways and means to do away with unwanted distractions.
Dear Bhante, I find it hard to do 1 hour of sitting meditation at a stretch. Is it okay to start with 15 minutes walking and 15 minutes sitting and gradually increase time for a sitting with metta?
Usually in a retreat like that, we prescribe 1 hour. Only the thing you can do is, you sit 15 minutes, okay. Whenever you find pain, whenever you find difficult, just be with that difficulty and ask the body, what do you want? That is called consulting your body knowledge. And then the body is telling that, please stretch your leg and this and that. Try to cope up with, rather than getting up and go. And be with that uncertain situation, and that is to say, increase the amount of observation, reduce the number of decisions. Or we can say, evenly suspended attention and suspended decision. See how difficult. Just sitting. When you are hard working, when you are tiring and toiling, you feel sitting is a blessing. Just doing nothing. Now, sitting is hell, working is a blessing. So whatever we get with hard earning, soon you get, till you get, it's a something novelty, soon you get, it is boring. So most of these bodily pains are not due to, most of these difficulties are not due to the bodily pains, basically due to the mental domanassa, or due to the boredom, or due to the monotony. So without understanding, if you are going to change the posture, it will be a physical answer, but you are not exploring, you are getting enough information. So therefore, rather than go for walking, just see, adjust yourself a little bit, and then try to understand how my mind is always going against my agenda, how it is forcing me to follow its agenda. And later you will find the agenda of the mind is never for your well-being. It's always to defilements. So therefore, slowly you have to compromise. You compromise with adjusting the posture rather than getting up and go. So later you may understand there are ways and means you can assimilate with the consultation of your body knowledge. You can extend the time little by little. So if you are not have that kind of a positive way of approach, you will be ever changing. And the Buddha gave a hint. People cannot understand the first noble truth because they are changing the posture. You can't understand the truth of suffering. Why? If you are simple, proximate cause, you are changing the posture. So when some people are praising their teachers and their teachers' methods and kind of thing, Buddha is asking, okay, that appreciating that you appreciate your teacher, how many minutes he can sit and wait? He's asking 7 days? No. 6 days? No. And asking 1 day? No. Half? No. 6 hours? No. 3 hours? No. 1.5? No. 1 hour? No. Then the Buddha says, if I wish, I can stay 7 days. This is the maturity. So therefore, take a how do you call that? A challenge, and little by little, you have to do. Don't try to torture yourself. And don't try to be with mind-based decisions. Consult your body. This is called body knowledge. Definitely you will proceed within this 1 week, and ultimately that very success will increase your determination power, and that is how each and everyone learn how to sit 1 hour. No one can otherwise. So therefore, don't give up very easily. At this critical moment, just be patient, get as much as information or observation, and go for least amount of decisions.
Venerable Bhante, in regards to the 8 precepts, is it okay to use powdered soy milk in my tea in the afternoon with metta?
So earlier it was, when I travel outside, sometimes I used to take creamer, sometimes I used to take soya milk, and later I had my own doubt. I discussed with the colleagues back at the Nissarana, and after the studying, they told, don't object if one is taking, but better not to take it. Because soy milk carrying all the full meal nutriments. So therefore, the Buddha prescribed Chatumadura, that is 4 nutriments, 4 kind of delicacies, and that carries the butter and ghee, jaggery and honey. So if you need that kind of thing, I can organize it and take 1 spoonful and big volume of hot water. It is like a cup of tea. But ghee and the butter, everyone can't, it is not palatable for many people. So therefore, I can't object directly because I have seen many centers are using it. And cheese also in the brim. Earlier our Yogasama Sanstha also used to take cheese in the evening because milk and curd prohibited, butter and ghee accepted, cheese in between. So to say yes or not, the scriptures are not supporting. But therefore, I have no rights to say it is wrong. But personally, I explain what I decided. So for the moment, I am not taking it. So instead, I would like to suggest Chatumadura.
That's all the question.
Okay, we are almost 55 minutes gone, 5 minutes available. If there are further statements or any information wish to present, we can take this time. Otherwise, we can use this for the next walking meditation. So if there are any other comments or any other...
So my questions are really short, if you don't mind. Much merit to you for considering it. I start my meditation with now here I am. And then I shift to my primary object, which is breathing in. I observe the breathing in, the middle of the breath and the breathing out. Then back again the middle of the breath and breathing in. Then I detect tiny trace of boredom. It comes like a flash. And immediately after that, I find the monkey mind begins in the background. So I'm still breathing, I'm aware of that. Then the breathing in and breathing out shifts. My noticing it shifts to the abdomen, to the rising and falling. It happens automatically, not intentionally. The monkey mind continues. Then I note sharp body aches, body pains, regular chronic pains and stabbing pains. Then I observe an effort on my part to continue to stay on the primary object, the in and out breathing. Again I detect boredom and the pains until I finally shift my position. I go back to being like a beginner to note the in and out breathing. Please advise me, sir, how to break this pattern and to progress beyond this. Much merit to you.
So, 2 times you mentioned that you managed to see the emerging boredom. So how is your mental coloration? Consider this as enemy or distraction, or you can see the boredom as boredom. Or I am asking, you see the boredom with a hateful mind, or you are observing the boredom with neutral mind?
Interesting. I think a little bit of both. Initially I didn't, naturally I was not happy with it, but I was surprised. And I suppose I learned to accept. So that's the boredom. And then I saw the link between the boredom and the monkey mind. It is as if the monkey mind was the answer to the boredom.
Yeah, that analysis is quite okay. So, whole teaching of the Buddha is making all the causes for you to feel bored.
Yes.
And naturally it will come with the hatred.
Yes.
And then the whole saddha or the faith, the whole precepts, whole mindfulness is to go prepared next time. The moment you can see the boredom with the neutral mind, you are enlightened. So that means you go prepared. Boredom is it's a precious, important visitor. Because whenever you apply the mind to the one object again and again, that is what we call bored. Or we can say monotony. And monotony is the one to the other side of the desire or tanha. Tanha is varietal entertainment, monkey mind. And instead of that, Buddha says, okay, whatever the monkey mind you have, whatever the tanha, desire you have, take little time and try to focus to one. Whenever you are successful, boredom is the first sign. But unfortunate enough, it happened with the hate base. So you have to listen, you have to discuss, you have to understand. The teachers then say, go prepared, now you are successful, your mindfulness is intact. But the boredom, the rational mind is rejecting. So imagine now the particular person have the radical reflection, wise reflection. Next time also he is not going to do away with the boredom. He create the facilities and conducive condition so that again the boredom happens, and try to understand the boredom with the neutral mind. If you go prepared, it's a coincidence or electric thing. You can see boredom can be experienced neutrally. That day you are no more. You're a completely different person. So you are on the way. And the monkey mind is in wholesale business all the time available. Because we are rich people, bloody fools. So therefore you have to understand that whenever the boredom sets in, it appears like an enemy, appears like a negation, it appears like a negative. And Buddha says, how to make a reason to be glad at the face of boredom. It appears like a brainwashing. It appears like a brainwash that whenever the tanha arises, desire arises. Whenever the tanha is cut off, boredom arises. So if you can be aware, the reduction of tanha is what you call the boredom, and it's the biggest, most precious Dhamma in the world. And the alternative for the boredom is the monkey mind. And no one needs any lessons for the monkey mind. Everyone knows it. So let it happen, otherwise mind can't make the balance. So once in a way it goes to monkey mind, and it's a clear indication the boredom sets in. So next day if you can go prepared for the boredom, the very preparation make you completely different person. And your sickness, your worries, your regret, everything happen in the hate base. Then you are reacting, you are assuming, you are calculating so much of fabricating, so much of stories. But if you go prepared for that, even the Buddha says, even the Mara, the evil one get amused, evil one get mixed up. It do not know how to make a racket then onward. Means you go prepared. This is what you call living. I hope you got the point.
Yes, Venerable Sir.
Can you put into your words, please, what you understand, what you understood? Because your English is good rather than mine, that you will explain better.
What I understood you to say is that the monkey mind is the
alternative.
The alternative to boredom. It is the Mara trying to prevent you from progressing. It's how I see it. Right? So these are some of the many defilements. The monkey mind, the pain,
self-negation, nihilistic and destructive, and all the kind of thing.
So, and they go from one to the other.
Yeah.
You know.
So what is the answer? What is
the next time
advice?
I detect boredom, to be happy. And to keep doing it over and over and over again, because the boredom is the opposite of the tanha. It is having let go.
And the boredom is the tanha provided not based upon hate. Whenever the boredom based upon hate, it is hatred.
Okay.
So therefore you have to define the boredom with hatred and without hatred. Without hatred is the one we are trying to earn. So it never happened by default. You must be faithful, you must have precepts, you must have prepared mind, that's the mindfulness. And then boredom has to come for you experiment.
Right. Now, Venerable Sir, over the years you have talked about boredom, and at a theoretical level, I have understood that being able to be bored was important for my progress. So, I think a lot of the kama tanha things I have been able to let go easily. And even if I do go to see a movie, it doesn't matter whether I do or not. I haven't had a TV set for 25 years. So, there are many, many things that I have let go. But I found that boredom was still something I found difficult to live with. And so I began to train myself to do things that were boring. So over the last few years, I have done things that can really bore most people, and they really bore me, and I keep doing it because I know I'm supposed to become comfortable with boredom. But that was different from seeing it precede the monkey mind. It was very different.
Yeah, still that you are not skillful. How to go prepared for the boredom, how to handle it. The moment it happens, it is very electric. It is not a gradual process. The moment you understand now I am in boredom, and my background of the mental cultivation is the hatred, can I accept this boredom without hatred? So you must have kind of a theoretical understanding or deductive knowledge beforehand, because at that time you can't learn it. Now the situation has come. So one day, paradigm shift from the hatred to the neutral mind, and then boredom is the object of meditation. The boredom is the blessed one. So far you were trying to get rid of it. Now you consider it as a sign of your success and your endowment or your gift. And then onward your tolerance level little increased. So that yesterday boredom is no boredom today. And you are ready for higher boredom. Intensified boredom. And that also, if you apply the same theory, again the theory becomes reproved and you become more tolerant, more capacitized, more immune. So that is other people can see. Not only you. You also can see, you go prepared. Each day, by little, you put on the threshold value of your tolerance. And it is maybe boredom, unsatisfactoriness, negation, monotony, sleepiness, hiding mind, sluggishness, all the bad words. They are blessings in disguise. Then you will never complain about that, then you know how to recycle them. You make a nice pit of compost. Out of all the thrown away material, ultimately you make a balanced fertilizer, the best fertilizer, organic fertilizer. So you can sell it now. You have compost to sell. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So you have taken 10 minutes over.
Much merit to you, Venerable Sir.
Okay, only we have 50 minutes we have for the walking meditation. So thank you very much for the participation.